Phil Mickelson. Phil Mickelson really stepped in it. So he said in an interview fairly recently, Saudi Arabia is terrible, bro. They killed Jamal Khashoggi. They execute gay people. They're deeply authoritarian. They have a terrible human rights record. But yeah, I'm going to work with them because I want to improve the PGA Tour. He was referring to, this Saudi league that was trying to pick off the top players in the world and pay them a ridiculous amount of money. They want to compete with the PGA Tour, probably eventually overthrow the PGA Tour. Greg Norman is the liaison to the Saudi government and trying to, get the players. Well, Phil saying that led to the rest of the PGA Tour players being asked about it. They all condemned it, and they all said, look, I'm with the PGA Tour. I'm not with this Saudi league. And so Phil was getting a lot of heat, rightfully so. He's basically saying, I'm incredibly amoral, and I'm greedy, and when you mix those two together, you get immorality, where I'm overlooking a homicidal authoritarian theocracy because they're going to give me a lot of money. And so I could either sign the deal with them or use that as leverage to shake down the PGA Tour for more money, even though his net worth is $40 million, even though he makes $50 million a year. He still thinks he's getting taken advantage of. It's not him that's getting taken advantage of. It's the players on the mini tours that are taken advantage of. It's the players in the bottom portion of the PGA Tour that are getting taken advantage of. It's when you miss the cut and make no money. That's being taken advantage of. It's the volunteers at the events who make the PGA Tour events run that are getting taken advantage of because they're volunteers. The PGA Tour has the money to pay them. They don't want to pay them. So that's who's getting taken advantage of. Phil thinks he is. And he thought he was like, I'm standing up in solidarity with my fellow top players. Well, nobody asked for that. And PGA Tour is constantly making changes to try to, make their players happier. Okay? But he couldn't stand the heat. So he released a so-called apology. I'm going to read it to you and then we'll react to it. So it's long. He says, although it doesn't look this way now, given my recent comments, my actions throughout this process have always been with the best interest of golf, my peers, sponsors, and fans. This is the problem of off-record comments being shared out of context and without my consent, but the bigger issue is that I use words I sincerely regret that do not reflect my true feelings or intentions. By the way, the journalist has come out and said this wasn't off the record at all. He never said anything about that. It was reckless. I offended people, and I am deeply sorry for my choice of words. I'm beyond disappointed and will make every effort to self-reflect and learn from this. Golf desperately needs change, and real change is always preceded by disruption. I have always known that criticism would come with exploring anything new. I still chose to put myself at the forefront of this to inspire change, taking the hits publicly to work behind the scenes. My experience with Live Golf Investments, this is the Saudi-lined group, has been very positive. I apologize for anything I said that was taken out of context. The specific people I have worked with are visionaries and have only been supportive. More importantly, they passionately love golf and share my drive to make the game better. They have a clear plan to create an updated and positive experience for everyone, including players, sponsors, networks, and fans. He continues, I have incredible partners, and these relationships mean so much more to me than a contract. Many have been my most influential mentors, and I consider all to be lifelong friends. The last thing I would ever want to do is compromise them or their business in any way. And I have given all of them the option to pause or end the relationship as I understand it might be necessary given the current circumstances. I believe in these people and companies and will always be here for them with or without a contract. I have made a lot of mistakes in my life and many have been shared with the public. My intent was never to hurt anyone and I'm so sorry to the people I have negatively impacted. This has always been about supporting the players and the game I appreciate and I appreciate all people who have given me the benefit of the doubt. Despite my belief that some changes have already been made within the overall discourse, I know I need to be accountable. For the past 31 years, I have lived a very public life and have strived to live up to my own expectations, be the role model the fans deserve, and be someone that inspires others. I've worked to compete at the highest level, be available to media, represent my sponsors with integrity, engage with volunteers, and sign every autograph for my incredible fans. I have experienced many successful and rewarding moments that I will always cherish, but I have often failed myself and others too. The past 10 years have felt the pressure and stress slowly affecting me at a deeper level. I know I have not been my best and desperately need time away to prioritize the ones I love most and work on being the man I want to be. Sorry for my stumbling and bumbling there. The font was very small on my graphic in front of me here. Yeah, you know what I hear as I listen to that? Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. That's what I'm hearing. You didn't have to go all emo teenager on us, bro. Now, by the way, go through that apology again, if you can fucking handle it, because I know it takes 12 years to do it. Go through it again, and what's he saying? First, he's deflecting and saying this was off the record and out of context. Then, as he's deflecting, he's also like, but if I hurt people, I'm sorry I offended you. I didn't mean the thing that you thought I meant, even though I meant it. And then he goes into, he apologizes to the Saudi Golf League, to the Live Investments people. So that's Greg Norman and whoever else is behind the scenes running the program with the Saudi government. So in other words, he's not saying, hey dog, the problem here was I'm so greedy, I was willing to work with an authoritarian theocracy dictatorship that murders people. And that's a problem, and now I know that's wrong and I shouldn't do that. These things matter. He didn't say that. He didn't say that at all. It was like, it's out of context. It shouldn't have been shared in the first place, but also I'm sorry if you're offended or whatever. But also I'm sorry to my partners and the people who sponsor me and to the Live Golf Investment people, the Saudi government. I need to go work on myself. It's been so hard. I'm going to paint my nails black and wear eyeshadow and be a emo punk kid from 2005. Okay, Peckerhead, relax. This is like the worst possible statement you could release. It honestly is. It is. And you know what my takeaway is? I think he already signed a contract with the Saudi people, with the Saudi Golf League, because he's apologizing more to them. And my guess is they're giving him at least $100 million or more. But the problem is now nobody else is willing to join Phil on the new tour. So are you really going to get that money? Are there really going to be events? I don't think there is. Rory McIlroy came out and said, I think the thing's fucking dead in the water. Everybody's out. Dustin Johnson's out. People thought he might join. Bryson DeChambeau's out. People thought he might join. He was offered $130 million or $150 million to join. But now he released a statement saying, I'm always going to play where the best players in the world are, and they're at the PGA Tour. So I think he signed a deal with them and just shot himself in the dick. That's what I think. And, you know, people are speculating. This might be true. He's a known gambler. People think, hey, maybe he's got a lot of gambling debt. And so he sort of feels like he needs that money. And, well, if you needed that money, I don't think it's going to come through, dog, because you just destroyed the tour with everything you said, which, by the way, is a good thing. I'm happy that the tour is destroyed. There are problems with the PGA Tour, and it needs to be reformed. And you need to have less income inequality between the top of the tour and the bottom of the tour. I think they should expand the tour. There's only like 125, 150 players. They should double the size of it. They should pay people some money if they miss the cut just so they could cover their expenses. You know, there's things you could do, but if anybody's going to change it, it's more likely to be the tour than the fucking Saudi government, they're just trying to sports wash their image. By the way, you know who came up with that term, sports washing? Phil Mickelson said it. He's like, yeah, they're trying to clean up their record, but he was happy enough to help them do it. He was like, okay, I'll help you do it. Either getting a big payday from you or improving the PGA Tour how he wants to improve it, by the way, which is more money for Phil Mickelson. And this all backfired. So apparently, look, I actually think golf media has done a phenomenal job covering this story. They have. Brandel Chambly and a bunch of others. I watch the Golf Channel all the time because I'm 78 years old. And golf media is way better than traditional media, like standard CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, Nightly News. They're way more, like politically correct, and they go with the narrative of the Democratic Party, the Republican Party. Golf media was like, this motherfucker's greedy, and he's apologizing to the Saudi government, and he's just sad he got caught, and now he's going full emo teenager. Their commentary is not too dissimilar from my commentary. So, credit to golf media. Phil Mickelson's a mess. He shot this thing in the dick, and at the end of the day, I guess that's the upside. If you want to see me and Crystal Ball interview legends like Noam Chomsky, Cornel West, and more, subscribe to Crystal, Kyle, and Friends on Substack. $5 a month gets you the video version a day early. Remember, we take $0 ad dollars for this podcast. Or you can sign up on Substack for free and get the audio version a day later. Link in the video description box below.